You want to know what really pisses me off, grinds my gears, just gets me like a little antsy is people who lie, manipulate for their own benefit, to move some kind of agenda, to manipulate for their own selfish gain. I don't like liars, especially people who command a lot of influence. And you know one of these liars who really kind of rubbed me the wrong way? I'll put him up here right now. Jack Murphy. This guy was exposed a while ago for being an absolute imposter. You could even say imposter syndrome. This man led a group, I believe called the Liminal Order, in which he espoused all of this alpha male, alpha energy. If you want to be a man of the house, you need to act like, so on and so forth. Well, he lied. He lied about most of everything that he stands for. I mean, I guess lie's a harsh way to put it. He misled people. He misled people because he is a raging cuck. It came out shortly thereafter that this man enjoys watching his wife engage in acts that he is not a part of. Now, I don't know if you know this, but that's definitely not what alpha males do, therefore, which led to, you imposter. And like many male leads, there are often female counterparts. Who would you say is Jack Murphy's female counterpart? Well, I would say there for a while we didn't really have one. But here in the last week or so, I think it's becoming very, very clear and apparent that we do have a female counterpart, and it is this woman right here, Eliza Blue. Now, this is my opinion, and I'll start this from the beginning. I think she is an absolute liar. I think that this is more of an instance of regret rather than actual criminal damage. And I'm going to show you some of the things that lead me to believe or have led me to come to this conclusion. I had an earlier video where I already talked about her appearance on the Timcast IRL episode she did, I believe about 2 weeks ago. The language that she used while she was on Timcast IRL was the language you would expect someone to use who is unequivocally biased in one direction, specifically regarding the issue with Andrew Tate, which was the topic at hand while she was on for the majority of the segment. The reason why she is taking the place as the female Jack Murphy is because Jack Murphy, I'm an alpha male, gets exposed as being a cuck, right? The complete opposite of what you are espousing yourself to be. Eliza Blue, a human trafficking survivor who is now an advocate for those who may have fallen into this path or were, I guess that's a bad way to put it, for those who were victimized in all forms of human trafficking. Now, the reason this is news is because the silence is absolutely deafening on this. The Quartering goes into detail in a new video he posted about less than a day ago. His tweet was appealed, and they denied his appeal, which is seemingly looking like Jeremy from the Quartering's Twitter ban will be permanent, as he states in his video. Why did Jeremy from the Quartering get banned? Well, Jeremy from the Quartering, seeing that Brittany Venti had just been deplatformed, noticed why she had been deplatformed, and he came to her side because Brittany Venti was banned from Twitter because she posted a screenshot to a publicly available YouTube video which featured Eliza Blue, a monetized public YouTube video that Brittany Venti took a screenshot of and asked some questions. Jeremy followed suit. He posted, again, a screenshot of the YouTube video in question and was then banned for violating a Twitter policy of posting a non-consensual or private photo of an individual. Now, I know what you're thinking right off the top. That is some absolute hogwash. As we well know, that Twitter is very capable of producing a lot of hogwash. The reason it grinds my gears so bad is because why is everyone so silent on this? Why are we here in another position where someone is being deceptive, people ask questions, and they're immediately snuffed off the platform? Now, I watched a video from that Star Wars girl, who I am also not very familiar with. I think that she had a good little bit of segment here that when she spoke about it, Marie, we'll listen to it.
So just to clarify that. Now, so Brittany Venti got censored and basically deplatformed from Twitter, along with Jeremy from The Quartering for defending Brittany Venti. Now, summary of everything that happened is that basically Brittany was asking a question. She shared screenshots from a public music video that has been live on YouTube for over 6 years. There's 0 age restrictions. It was a 100% consensual video. And Brittany saw this video and she simply asked a question. She asked for Eliza Blue to clarify, about this music video because I guess it goes against her messaging of anti-human trafficking. Now, I think it's safe to say that
She explained it a little bit better than I was about to. She just simply had some questions. Because some of these things aren't stacking up. And putting out statements such as, let's find it here. She states that she was being trafficked for over 15 years. Coming out in 2022, as this timeline states, again, a thread from that Star Wars girl. Another tweet here from Manuel Defango. 15 years ago at 17, I was trafficked, setting the date at 2007. In 2006, she was on the blind date at 21 years old. It's an American TV series. Here's a screenshot of her. They do the little nice side quips like, here's a little fake side profile of who I am, as I must want to be celebrity on one of these stupid shows. And here you can see sex trafficking survivor and advocate. Right. The timeline doesn't add up. And now this isn't the only thing that adds issue to the timeline. There are many other things, as well as a possible marriage that she was a part of, that she had a husband while this was going on. I only noticed this from a comment down here on Brittany's video. Human trafficking actually been married to a younger man from California. Now, forgive me because I don't have it pulled up. Okay. So I can't find the post to the article that I found earlier that had more information on the husband who had come out against her actually being trafficked. And since I can't confirm it, we're not going to grow with that. We're just going to keep moving forward. Now, the crab man posted a screenshot about a conversation that he had on Twitter with Brittany regarding this issue. Now, this conversation goes, Brittany is saying, not everyone's going to know the different forms of trafficking, so I get it if that she was coerced into it. Grabman grabs a screen grab of Eliza tweet. So the deal is that, this is from Eliza. So the deal is that after I was sexually exploited as a child, I had a vivid life. Then I was trafficked again as an adult. What? Then I was free, and folks don't understand that I have lived for 41 years and they don't comprehend how someone can be trafficked and have a life. I don't think that's what people have an issue with. I don't think people see her enjoying her life and going like, man, I can't believe someone who got trafficked could live a normal life. From the Crabman, based on Eliza's response, I think there were additional things that happened in the background that weren't publicly posted, which could easily in itself fill in any blanks or whatever. But when it comes to Eve's Angels, the organization that Eliza claimed helped save her from that lifestyle, they've been perfectly upfront with me over the past few weeks about their group as I tried helping them raise money for a new roof, which in itself is more than enough for me, yeah? But to get to the point, it'd feel awkward as hell for a guy in particular to try and ask Eliza about that thread. I wouldn't want to piss her off or whatever. Now there's an issue too, like, see how toxic this discourse is? That because he himself recognizes that he is a man, he becomes a coward when it comes to confronting a woman over what may possibly well be a grift, deception, and a very large just scheme. So then it comes back to trying to assess the threat in and of itself. And I mean, some person brings up Russia/Putin at one point, and it was difficult for me to take it seriously. Like, what are you talking about? Brittany responds, she doesn't have to go in depth, but the thing is, if you speak up about being trafficked, it's fair if people want to know, at least who. Just give some legitimacy. She doesn't owe her business to others, but she chose to speak on it, so it's fair if people want to just clarify the basis of the story. I'm not trying to step on toes, but I'd ask this about anyone in this position. I think fair enough. I think if you come forward and you say, these things happened to me, and you go, who did these things? And then you get blocked. Do you think that makes me more likely to believe it or less likely to believe it? You decide. He goes, of course I get where you're coming from, but nobody's made a big deal about that thread over the past few weeks. As if people making a deal or media silence is relevant to the value or is any way a metric into signifying whether something is worthy of being spoken about or not. It's just a fail. Absolute fail. And even the Star Wars girl, she had to cover the screenshot there in question. And here, I'm not going to be scared of this, man. I'm not. Yeah, I believe that I have the exact picture that was getting blocked. We'll see if this stays up on YouTube. Right here. I believe this was the image. There's also other little kind of smaller shots. It's terrifying when you can accuse such great, horrific human atrocities out into the nebulous and not name names, not feel like you owe it to come forward, to actually speak with some legitimacy and transparency. And I understand. I understand that it's a difficult and uncomfortable thing to speak about. But if even you yourself, the victim, are too scared or uncomfortable to speak, then what good does it do? Like what good does it do for the next victim to just donate money to this woman? How does that prevent the next person from being trafficked? How does not being completely 100% open and transparent and pointing as many fingers as possible with confidence, how is that not what you want to do? You know, maybe she's wired differently. But for me and myself, I find it so odd, so nearly egregious that if someone was wronged, they choose not to speak forward about it. I mean, everyone's seen the movies. The bully is picking on the kid. Everyone's, oh my gosh! The moment that the person stands up to the bully, they choose not to be afraid. They choose to stand there and they will take what consequence comes their direction because they choose to take a stand for themselves. This is the opposite. This is someone asking a question right after you accuse somebody of something and then going completely silent. And in fact, instead of being just silent about the issue and not commenting, in fact, deplatforming and banning multiple accounts, not just Brittany, but the quartering as well. And one of the final threads I have here, which this is one of the threads that Jeremy from the quartering outlined out. There's a lot more information in here that I haven't gone through yet. I just wanted to put one of these up because it's too silent on this issue. It's way too silent. More people need to speak up about this. More people need to strike back against how much toxic damage things like the Me Too movement and nebulous accusations have caused just general public discourse, specifically for the male counterparts. I can't be somebody who sits here with my mouth shut. I can't. And anybody who knows me personally, they'll tell you that exact thing. If I see something wrong or something ain't adding up, I'm pointing, I'm asking, I want to know. From an open secret, people are finally waking up to what we said about Eliza Blue Morshland in 2021 and 2022. Continuing. We exposed Eliza for lying repeatedly about a widely used method of detecting child sex abuse material. And a link in there. Another tweet here. We'll go here. You have falsely claimed for months that Apple's proposed CSAM detection is scanning. It would use on-device hash matching, which is totally different. Please don't spread disinformation if you don't understand the technology. And so this must have been a clip of her wanting to put the hold on Apple child exploitation scanning technology. I'm not really familiar with stuff like that, so we're just going to keep it moving on things that I could actually kind of open up into. After lying about a widely used method for detecting CSAM, which is child sex abuse material, Eliza refused to respond and immediately blocked us with a screenshot. We explained how Eliza is lying about her reason for refusing to name her alleged abusers. Facts are that naming her abuser would make her safer, not put her at risk. This tweet here. Imagine a public person who earns their living off internet donations, raising awareness, claims to be a sex trafficking survivor, refuses to name her abusers. Wouldn't naming abusers help others to stay away from them? You guys tell me. What's your opinion? In 2022, Eliza kept lying about a commonly used method of detecting child sex abuse material / child porn. We kept explaining and presenting the actual facts. Reverse hash matching to detect child sex abuse material is not a search. Understanding the difference is basic level stuff. Eliza repeatedly spreads that kind of disinformation. Facts are facts. People like Eliza are simply not credible when they go through multiple entirely different personalities on the internet every few years. Eliza Blue Morthland repeatedly promoted a complete lie following completion of the Twitter acquisition by Elon Musk. She claimed the top 3 hashtags used to advertise child sex abuse material on Twitter had been removed via automated process. We got a tip which demonstrated Eliza was lying. We tweeted this thread on November 30th, 2022. This refers to the lie Eliza Blue Morthland spread on social media, which went viral. Here you have a thread. This is all available on an open secret, guys, if you want to go to yourself. On January 6, 2023, the NBC News investigation we kickstarted through CNBC was published. It demonstrated that Eliza Blue Morthland was lying when she spread the viral lie that Twitter had removed those 3 hashtags as they were still rampant. Which this goes on about when the dam broke, once Elon took over the acquisition of Twitter, all of a sudden, all of these outlets were like, but look at all this pornographic material that is on this website. Elon, what are you doing? Running the site. This is, It's grating. It falls on deaf ears. I think anybody following the story understands very well and at large that there was a rampant amount of child sex abuse material available on Twitter that was not being censored, not being purged, not being looked at, not being heard. It's only when Elon takes over does it become an issue. But it also draws into question, has he even paid any attention to this? Is he aware of the deplatforming that's gone on due to just like simple questions being asked? Let alone forget the ridiculous policy that you're saying these 2 violated. Do you think there's something more nefarious going on here? Yeah, you're asking me, based on her lifestyle, her choices, her use of the English language, her body language, and the few hours I have seen of her content, as well as her appearance on a neutral platform such as Timcast. I gotta be honest with you. She sounds more like a puppet or a mouth of something, a mouthpiece for someone, or a arm of some kind of political agenda. I don't believe she's genuine. I have a hard time believing a lot of these claims. But let me know what you think. That's my opinion. You don't gotta share it with me. I just wanted to break some of this down for you, because I'm sure you've not seen it, heard it, or even noticed it. But anyways, peace.